Hey guys, it's Mike with another Guild of Guardians Spotlight video. Today we're taking a look at Kwitare. She's got Ascender, Agility, Imperial Assassin. I think she's one of the first assassins we're looking at. I really like her kit, and I did play with her kind of early game and did move away from her just because she was squishy. But she has a really cool ability that does a lot of damage and potentially could clear an entire wave for you. If it lands right at the right time and that sort of thing. She's a cool champion, got her overall attack power rating up to 621, which is right in the sweet spot that we want to be in, between 600 and 650. And we go take a peek at her gear. She's using the same gear I've got in my Drizda build, and then the helmet actually does match her, so she does get these added stats from that as well. We got her in attack boots and attack on the crossbow. Those two could be changed out for defense and HP. That potentially would help her stay alive a little better. But as an assassin, ideally she would have attack if she doesn't die right away. So if she can't make it through these waves, we might come back and try to swap this out for something defensive or HP to give her a little more durability. But let's take a quick peek at her kit. Her ultimate ability is an AoE attack. It's called Phantom Clone. She disappears and summons phantoms behind each enemy that deal 100% of attack as physical damage for 7 seconds before disappearing. Reappear where you disappeared. So she disappears, and then behind each enemy there's going to be a phantom of her that attacks them for 100%. Instead of 7 seconds, we're up to 10 seconds on this ability. Whirlwind Blade is a balancing. It attacks nearby enemies, dealing 190% of attack as physical damage. We're up to 250%, so that's going to hit pretty hard. And then Backstab is her passive, and she increases the damage she deals from behind by 40%. And we've got that up to 70%, and we can get that all the way up to 100%. So with this Phantom Clone, she puts her phantom version of herself behind the enemy, and then she's doing 100%. But with this Backstab, she could potentially be doing 200% damage for 10 seconds. And this is that combination of things that really works really in her favor to clear an entire wave by herself. I believe too, as she's the phantom, she actually disappears, so she does not take damage while these phantoms are going on. So I might be wrong there, we'll find out for sure. But when she gets to this ability, she's basically not taking any damage, and she's doing a lot of damage of her own. So let's jump into the Great Forge and see how she does here. Alright, so we are on to that first battle in the Great Forge. She is Ascender, so she has neutral affinity here. One thing to keep in mind on assassins is functionality. Being a one-person team definitely doesn't cater to their skill set. Ideally, you have a tank that's soaking up damage up front, and the assassins are just sneaking in and stabbing people from the back. So this isn't really going to highlight her ability as far as that goes, but hopefully she can stay alive long enough to get through her ultimate ability a few times so we can see it. She does seem to be doing okay here. Her damage is pretty high. She's hitting those guys in one hit. Here she's summoning her phantom, so here they are back there, and they went ahead and killed those enemies. Now it's interesting too, the phantom that was closest to us killed its enemy, and then it went and attacked the other enemy. So I didn't realize if you started with 5 enemies and they slowly were killing them off, that for 10 seconds they're going to just go keep attacking. So that's actually pretty cool. I thought once they killed their enemy they'd probably disappear, but they do not. Alright, we are moving on to that second battle here. She only took a little bit of damage in that room, so that's pretty impressive. As far as I figured she'd be squishier than that, especially with all of her ability, all of her accessories and everything geared towards attack. But she does, as she hits, she does quite a bit of damage. That looked like that was area damage because it hit both of them. She is taking a stun here, moving into her cyclone, where she turns into, and then those two phantoms came over and killed that one enemy. So that's pretty cool. And I'm pretty confident they cannot hit the phantoms, so she doesn't actually take damage in that 10 seconds while she's phantoms. Or while her phantoms are out there. I don't think she takes any damage at all. Alright, we are on to that third and final boss fight here. We're going to go ahead and get started. I think as long as she gets to her ultimate ability, we should be fine. This room does do a little more damage, and she's taking it all on herself, so that's unfortunate. She's got just a little bit of health right here. We could really use that ultimate ability right about now. So and she died. She died right before she got to it, so that's very unfortunate. I think had she got to that ultimate ability, she would have been able to kill them because she's not taking damage while she's in that phantom state. So that's she is one of the better assassins that I have played with. I do think that she has a lot of merit on a team, especially when you have somebody else tanking up damage, where she can kind of hide behind the scenes until she's ready to launch that ultimate ability and then go do all that damage from the backside. And then when you get this backstab skill up to 100%, she's gonna be doing 200% damage as those phantoms. So that I think would be a big win. In order to get there, you only need to get, I think you actually have to max her out at level 130 before you'd be able to get to the 200%. As we jump out in the token trove, take a look at Kwitare. She's valued at 159. I personally think that's a little bit low. I think that she does have more value than that. There's a couple down here, 170, probably right around $2. You do accumulate fragments of her, so you can collect as many copies of her as you want, and then enlighten her, get her dialed in and powered up pretty quickly. So I think that is a benefit to her, especially early game when you're trying to get a little more power under you. Got the warrior version there in blue. Elite, and I don't know, there's not any champion Kwitares in the game quite yet, so that's pretty fun. She's past due. Somebody's got to summon that champion version. So I think that's what I got on Kwitare. I think she's a cool assassin. If you want to dabble in the assassins, they do a lot of damage, but they are kind of hard to keep alive and build your team to make sure they stay that way. Having her teamed up with a healer, Aquarius, Flix combo potentially could be a benefit. Aquarius be a little rough with single target healing. If she is healing Kwitare, that'll be great, but if not, Kwitare's not going to be able to make it around to the next heal cycle. So a Flix could be a way of getting that AoE heal or doing a double healer combo, which I think I'm going to do a video on that to see how survivable a combination like that can be. But I think early to mid game and potentially even late game, because she can do just a lot of damage as long as you can find a way to keep her alive. But she is a pretty fun champ. So hopefully you found that interesting. I appreciate you spending the time with me here today, and I will see you next time.